He'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Back to throw. King. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time, but it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Now a give, right side. It's Brooks. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
It's now 3rd and goal.
Here we go. Here we go. 18 gator. 18 gator. We're going to work. Check 13. Check 13.
They'll try to run this one in. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. So a decision to be made. Is this something, opening drive maybe they discussed before the game?
They had to, and that's the responsible way of getting ready for a game. You go through situations with your staff. You go through scenarios, and you read your team. If we're in this spot and we're moving the ball well, is this a time to go for it? Or is it time to be a little bit cautious? I think in this case, he feels good about his team. He should go for it.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. It's their quarterback. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. And a give this time to the tailback. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Allen, he'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Allen. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the 1st down in the process.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. To the air, Allen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had to receive.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 46, and he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now King on 1st and 10. Complete to Bryant. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. King off the play fake. Going deep to the end zone for Juju. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play, and guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, watch the leg.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Check the outs, check the outs, check the outs. Watch the shit. Watch the shit, watch the shit.
2nd and 4. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually
and a big loss here as he's taken down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Bills send the punter out as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And now running right through it. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. Past the 20. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Leonard Fournette, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. And he's going to go down again.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Slam, slam, slam. Get low, West. Go. Run it.
To throw is King, operating from the gun. And that will be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. Nearly a huge return as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
I know, but let me finish. You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now they try the right side here. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Then he'll give it here to his running back. And some room to maneuver. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. Jefferson. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On play action, Allen. And his throw is incomplete.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the 2nd interception in the first half.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. A minute 55 left to go in the first half of play. Jacksonville's pass defense holds serve. 4th down. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Tackle made there by Matt Milano.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Jaguars. Juju Smith-Schuster with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Push him back. Middle. Mike 27.
Allen to throw again. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Allen going to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't have a chance to put some more points on the board.
It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return, and that will come the offense as they take over.
First half going my way. I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. And there on the tackle, Shaq Lawson. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
You ain't going nowhere. 49. Check 49. Check 41.
2nd and 6. He's got his man on the crossing route. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a 1st down here. Here's King. From the gun, he'll throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Allen. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
SOS. Pull it. Half. Slam. Joker. Check.
Now a give, right side. Brooks. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead will swell by one more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A nice job of just sticking the helmet down 9 yards on the play, but still 3rd and 12 now.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Check 24.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Man, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. The last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ed Oliver in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Looking to throw. King. And the pressure gets to him again.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
You ain't doing nothing today. Hey, watch this, watch this.
King now, throwing on 3rd and long. He's going to look deep down the field. And that is incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Returnable here from the 38. Oh, shifty.
Whoa.
They knew they were going to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They're cut down. When they're that backed up, you've got to be careful going after him.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
He was brought down at the 26. That's a gain of 7.
From the gun on 3rd down, King. And he's got his tight end, Oliver.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now King throwing on 1st down. He sets to fire, and that's caught inside the 30. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And able to take it past the 20 a little bit, but no further. A flag in there as well. Let's see what this is. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
Now a handoff looking right. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He's going to fire one deep left side, and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
First down, Buffalo.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Back now in Jacksonville. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. He lets this one fly toward the back. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Malik Hooker.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Rush in. Check 52.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one good for 37 yards.
First play of the drive, excellent run. Just sets up wash, rinse, repeat. Another first down.
So that play much needed there as they're all the way up near the 40 for a 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 47. There's nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Watch out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain there of... And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Ed Oliver picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. First throw now for the backup Brady. This is caught. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A 15-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped in here this afternoon. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And they are going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Here we go. Set. 56 flag. 56.
Yeah, let's go sack lunch.
To throw is King on 1st down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmaker.
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Josh Allen, a milestone sack for him as it moves him past Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor, who finished his career with 132.5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Jags grab it. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Back to throw. King. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawk.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Josh Allen able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Allen. He's going to fire one deep left side. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. The Bills send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Jaguars. 58 yards, the distance covered on the punt return as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Things are rocking easy here in the 4th quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. After the sack on first down, Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Throwing on third and long. Allen. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Josh Allen able to record his 5th sack of the season. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
You don't want it. You go take. You got take. Half 85. Half 85. Here we go.
So they're going for it, and here's Allen. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Read it well, and it's picked. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing too.
Oh, she's at least...
She's on like the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week? And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. To throw, it's Allen. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And the ball is knocked out. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
And this is where you need the quarterback to morph into being a running back. The ball can't be away from his body. It can't be loose. It can't be held like he's going to throw it. Tuck it away. Take care of it because he's going to run through a lot of traffic.
And if he doesn't take care of it, we're going to see less design. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. He's going to... And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 46. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
55 is mine, guys. 55. Cut. Mike 5-5.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And it's incomplete. We're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Jaguars, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to